Hello everybody and welcome back to KSP POV, where we play Kerbal Space Program in first person. In the last episode, we unfortunately lost Agayuki out to the depths of space in solar orbit for the next 20 years or so. Thankfully, she has enough life support because that's what her goal was to bring a whole bunch of life support to the space station. And unfortunately, she failed at that mission. She will work on making her way back home. However, in the meantime, we are going to have to send up that mission yet again, because if we want to go interplanetary, we're going to need to supply our scientists with food, which is what we've got here. So I want to introduce to you the Refuel Craft 2, which is now equipped with the A-Set Alcor pod from the mod of the same name. But this is a highly advanced, really interesting IVA. Mainly, the whole point is for the IVA here. It's actually quite a terrible pod. This thing is so prone to explosions. I've used it plenty on my channel and in previous series, so if you want to see all those dangers, you can see that there. For now, we are not going to be bringing it into any dangerous situations, but we will be using its beautiful IVA. So, just moving on real fast, and then we are going to get into the mission. We also added these cryogenic freezing chambers from the deep freeze mod here, and it only comes with a couple items, but cryogenically freezing our Kerbals will allow their life support to be extended, because they're not eating them, drinking water, breathing oxygen, so on and so forth. So I didn't have a lot of luck with these in our test flight, but maybe there was just an issue with the fact that it was a simulation, not the real thing, or I'm not exactly sure. So these may end up being useless. We may not be able to utilize this at all, just wasted space and all wasted weight, but we shall see, and hopefully so. But if not, we actually have enough life support here for quite a bit. There's only 4 people on board the space station, so we have a maximum crew of 7. So we will have more than 11 years, but oh, you know what? Let's see. Let's go ahead and fill it with. All right, so that is the amount of crew that will be. Yeah, so 15, 12, and 10. I feel like we could do better than that. Why is that all off balance? Hold on. For the sake of potentially making this craft too heavy, let's fix that situation. Oxygen should be higher than that. That's 20 years. Water? What's going on here? I just want a nice balance. Okay. So we're gonna put a little bit more water in there as well. Make it a nice even 15 years across the board with our current crew. Alright, there we go. But of course we need to only send up one pilot here, and Valentina, I can't risk you. You've got bigger fish to fry. You've got more important things to do, so we are going to take you. Roni, we don't need any more scientists. We've got a full crew. Shanvin, you are quite the explorer now that you have been underwater, but I'm not going to be using you either. And Zalou, you're just too stupid and courageous to spend on a mission like this. So, Billock Kerman, you are our pilot for the afternoon, and your job is basically going to be the easiest job that any Kerbal has done here, because the Alcor pod is so advanced. I'm so excited to show it off. So, without any further ado, this is the rest of the rocket. Asparagus staging, Pila engines, the usual. So let's go ahead and get this out on the launch pad and rendezvous with the MODLISTS International Science Station so we can move forward towards Eve. Alright, here we are on the launch pad at the Proving Grounds Desert Launch Site with our MODLISTS mission flag and a beautiful day for launch. Let's go ahead and hop in the cockpit. This is a bit different than anything we've done so far. It does use a lot of the same JSI raster prop monitor screens, things like that. So nothing too unfamiliar. Actually, let's put our vessel view up there. Have that there. I'm just gonna get this all situated. Kind of get ourselves going. And we'll have our cameras up there. Get our warning signs up. Don't need any of that. Get our mission time. Put our maneuver note there. Get our panel lights on and our flight deck because actually we don't need the flight decks. Well, bright enough. Alright, anything else we want to do here? Nothing for the moment. We've got our life support that we can monitor here. Environmental control, I'm not really sure what any of these do. So if any of you are familiar with this mod, you know if cabin fan, any of this is useful. I mean, it flips, so I feel like it does something. Anyways, just a quick little tour. I'm gonna hop out of the seat real fast. The rest of the craft is pretty nice. It's got some interesting decor here. You got food, EVA checklist. This is the other seat that typically is occupied. You have some pretty good screens here. This one's this nice big one is great. A few controls, nothing really fancy to speak of. But the nice thing about this is this has the list of all the mods that are compatible with it and all the things that work well with it. So as you can see here, you don't need to get everyone because some of these are they don't work well together, but nonetheless there they are. And then the third seat is just this one, which just, you know, keeps an eye on the rest of the craft. Maybe they're typically where I put the scientists. I don't need scientists messing with buttons. That's the engineer's job. Okay, anyways, so we have everything we need. We are ready for takeoff. However, like I mentioned before, this is a very advanced pod, and as of the last episode, we realized that risking kerbals is just too great of an issue. But we really want to send kerbals out there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna utilize the Alcor's MechJeb integration and simple button right there. Auto ascent, execute maneuver. You see here, our throttle is up. So all we need to do is hit the stage button. And the computer's autopilot will take over and bring us to orbit. So we get to sit back, relax. This is his absolute first flight ever, straight out of pilot school. Decent amount of courage, a little half bar full of stupidity. So it's good to just take the human error out of a Kerbal. Let's be real, Kerbals don't err. We'll take the human error out of the Kerbal. Oh, there you go. It automatically staged our side boosters. We're just gonna bring ourselves safely to orbit without a care in the world. And I'll see you there. And there we have it. We have successfully circularized. Apoapsis of 116, periapsis of 104. We didn't even have to do anything. I love the Alcor pod. I actually have flown this more manually than automatic, more times than anything else. Yeah, see, what do these do? Right? I'm sure something. I don't want to flick any of them. We're mid-mission. Alright, so now that we're done with that, we need to match Minmus's plane of inclination. Let's see, Celestials, Minmus. There we go. So that's targeted. Okay, we got our information there. Plop on our SAS. We're going to point ourselves anti-normal. Ooh, and we're only 3 minutes from our ascending node, so hopefully anti-normal is the correct way. We'll test pretty soon, but Billock isn't off the hook yet. He does have to do a little bit of flying, and the inclination change is one part of his task today. So, now that we're lined up, let's go ahead and we're just gonna tap on the throttle and watch this number right here. Yep, it's going down. Alright, so, let's see, what's our time to sending notes? It's 3 minutes. Let's time warp a little bit, because this is a very powerful engine. So let's say at the 1.5 minute mark. 31 and fire. Alright. So we're going to try to bring this down to as close to 0 as possible. It's starting to slow down, so that's not going to be very possible. So we're going to kill our throttle for now. We're going to come back around to the next setting node. Stop around there. Burn our throttle again. And that's about as close as we're going to get here. So that is fine. That's all we need to do. So, once again, we are ready to let the Alcor pod handle our business. And we are going to hit this button right here, marked Moment Transfer. And look at that. So easy. Alright, let's check on the map real fast. Make sure. Let's double check its work. Alright, so it's going to bring us in about 588 kilometers away. And we are going to need to stage during this time. So, in all my tests, this puts us going the wrong direction when we circularize. However, we'll get to that. We'll get to that bridge when we get there. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. We'll burn that engine when we get there. Okay, so with everything left to do, nothing else necessary. With nothing else left to do, everything, the only thing necessary to do is time warp our way to our maneuver. Oh, wait, hold on. Maneuver node is in 7 minutes, that's right. We gotta press execute maneuver. That makes a big difference. Let's go ahead and turn on our RCS, give ourselves a little more momentum as we come around. And we are on our way. A nice tiny little window here. A little tiny viewing screen, and one up there as well. Oh, and it is time to stage. A little explosion back there, never hurt anybody. Alright, so we've got 270 Delta V left to burn. And we should be good. And as it finishes up, we see that we have, looks like there was an interception there. Hold on. Well, let's check our work. No, it didn't quite. Okay, so it didn't do this. It did not do this in my test flights. So, let's see. SAS on. Point ourselves retrograde. I think we need to back it up a little bit. Let's turn on our thrust limiter, make it real small. 25%. Alright, so our closest approach is dropping. Alright, there is our transfer. Let's see what we're looking at here. Alright, well, it's not great. Let's tap it just a little bit more. Bring that down. Okay, well, that just pushed it to the side. Alright, so now it's on this side. Alright, so that's decent enough. We'll leave it. We've got 19 31 delta V in the tank. I think we're gonna be all right. We're not at the right altitude to meet up with the station. We're not at the right inclination to meet up at the station. None of that is correct. I don't care. We got the Alcor pod, so what else do we need? All right, so let's go ahead and time warp our way to that transfer. We can see our timer down here. Watch our little ship go by. Love all the details on this screen. It's going into this, but I feel like we're still gonna cross it, right? No. Interesting. Alright, let's see if we can't figure something else out. Well, our periapsis is 116 kilometers, so we're not going to be crashing back into there, but I have a feeling we may have missed something somewhere or had an issue somehow. Don't have a maneuver set. They're spinning wildly. Yeah, I know. I don't understand what happened. Did you do something? Did you touch something back there, Peabody? I swear, this is why I can't bring her to space. Alright, so let's target min-miss. And we are going to, let's see, that's the best way to do it. I guess home and transfer again? No. Auto rendezvous? Maybe. I don't think so. No. No, we need to kill that. Alright, well there we are back on track. I'm gonna go ahead and just hit execute maneuver, and hopefully that will take care of that 43 days. I don't know where that went wrong. This whole time, every single test that I did, it was just autopilot the whole way. Just press the button and show up. I don't know what happened here. And you know, I'd like to be like, oh, well, you know, Legion, it was because you put those extra life support, you know, all that extra oxygen, you know, it weighs much. But this is the autopilot. We have enough delta V, you know, it should have autopiloted us there correctly. It just didn't. So we have that plotted into Mike Jeb, right? Execute maneuver. Time warp should be taking over. That's the reason why I'm questioning. Alright, well, we shall see. Let's go ahead and time warp to our maneuver. 43 days. Oh, wait. Escape Kerbin. Escape Kerbin. Wait, where are we? Hold on. Hold on. Hold your horses. Where are we? Ship log. High over min-miss. Okay, so we are on a min-miss. I freaking knew it. I knew that I couldn't trust any of that. Alright, so let's just doing this manually. I can't have another Kerbal go off into solar orbit. We've lost too many already. Alright, wow, I feel like I am at the, over min-miss. I feel like I'm at the pinnacle. Alright, we need to reset our thrust limiter, throw on our throttle, and bring down our orbit. And there we go. That's all we need. We're just in orbit of min-miss. We're no longer in danger of leaving. We've got a terrible inclination compared to min-miss sat placer probe, but we'll figure it out. So, alright, I think we're in a pretty good position. And why do I think that? Well, that's because I keep telling you, the Alcor pod is just amazing. Look at this. So, we're going to go down here to Vessel. We're going to go ahead and select the MODLISTS International Science Station and hit Auto Rendezvous. As we see here, we already have a maneuver set. Let's go ahead and execute it. And that will bring us to our goal. So it is actually just this easy. We're going to turn off the flight deck and the floodlights. We're going to just sit back and relax. But I think we're going to do the... Thank you. I think we're going to do the rest of this mission, or at least this part of it, in map mode, because it will just be the easiest way to keep track of everything going on. So, as you see here, we've got 66 meter per second delta V change to get our inclination more vertically. And it's probably going to spin over there. It's going to do all sorts of things. Delicate dance of the auto rendezvous. But anyways, we'll watch it, and I will see you soon. Easy as pie. And once it's done, goes ahead and plots in the next step, and then takes on over. So all we gotta do is sit back and watch. Really is the easiest way to rendezvous. If you don't want to trouble with all the hassles of going back and forth, learning the orbital mechanics of it, just get yourself the Alcor pod. Just don't bring it screaming back through the atmosphere. It's not like it. And it even handles the slight, barely any second burn. And look at that. Now it's going to bring us down to the correct altitude. That's so cool to see. And with that, we are on the same plane and the same altitude, just ready to rendezvous. I don't even know if we were going the same direction at the beginning, but I think we solved that. Let's see. Separation 0.7 kilometers, 0.2 meters per second. I think we're here, everybody. Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are. Oh, look at that. Alright, so let's go ahead and clear our maneuver node. Right, did that do it? Oh, it's not done. That's why. Really? Oh, I might have messed that up a little bit. So I guess it thinks that it can get closer. Are you gonna try to smack us into the thing? What are you doing? Alright, let's see. Let's get our cameras up so we can kind of see what we're looking at. Our closest approach is 10 meters away. Oh, hey, MODLISTS. Oh, I kind of forgot that we're in orbit of MODLISTS right now. Not just anywhere. We're above a moon. Alright, so we're going to be approaching at 7.1 meters per second. Alright, so our approach is 0.1 meters per second. 13. I think we're good. Yeah, we have no maneuver node. We have our intersect. We're essentially standing still. So I think it is time to go ahead and get our docking port set up. Let's go ahead. Let's turn on our SAS to stop our rotation. Oh, Perfect timing. Okay. Oh, let's move quickly. All right. SAS surface speed. That we need to target menu. We're gonna put on that Clamptron Jr. We also need to set our reference part to the grabbing unit Junior. There we go. Unfortunately, our camera is not in the right position, so we are going to need to utilize this camera here. And action group 2 opens up the claw arm. Alright. Alright, so I think we are good to go. We can go ahead and point ourselves towards our target. Alright, that's very exciting. Alright, so our target is actually middle of the body, which is nice. It's away from all the solar panels. However, we are at a pretty weird angle, but that should be fine. Let's turn our RCS on. Let's turn our thrust limiter, like, all the way down. We do not need to be... You know what? Let's just turn our thrust off. We don't need to use our throttle in the slightest. Okay. So if I... Okay, yeah, so that's just controlling RCS. Perfect. So now we are approaching. Actually, increase our approach speed a little bit. Gonna kind of manually tap a little bit of an angle change into here. Oh, this might be really easy. This might be too easy. And connect. Look at that, everybody. We have, in a very awkward way, we have, you know, I'm going to say dock, but I'm using the term dock loosely because, you know, real docking, that's just an insult to real docking, because we should have had another one of these put together, lined ourselves up with one of the numerous options that we had, but no, we just brute force grabbed on with our Clampetrons. But that means we have successfully arrived. Let's go ahead here and check our life support. And yeah, so for the 5 crewed space station, we now have enough life support for 22 years, 353 days, 45 minutes, because it's whatever the minimum one is, which is great. And that means that our scientists can keep working. Oh, they've already made 308 science since the last time we've transmitted. Perfect. So yeah, so that means our scientists can keep working throughout the years as we start sending our probes and our crewed crafts over to Eve, because that is going to be in the next episode. I was initially going to try to send it to Eve in this episode, send the probe out first and then launch this mission here. However, this mission ended up being significant enough of a challenge. I mean, it's not really a challenge, you saw. We just autopiloted our way here, but it was significant enough that I wanted to showcase the whole part of it and talk about the Alcor pod, because I honestly love this thing so much. It's so great for IVA and so many controls. And when you can get more Kerbals in the seats, into all the different seats, it's quite nice. But that is where we are going to bring today's episode to a close. Like I mentioned, in the next episode, we are going to start working on our Eve project. I was very impressed to see the KSP group get themselves to Joule, even on an inopportune transfer window. Oh, I guess we have to go all the way through. You know, an inopportune transfer window, even though, you know, it wasn't the easiest thing they could have done, they still managed to get it done. And so that inspired me. And even though we have very low technology when it comes to... let's get a nice shot of the craft. But even when we have low technology for our communications network and our probes have limited control, we can still accomplish some great things if we just put our mind to it. Beautiful. But anyways, let's stop messing around. We don't want to lose Billock. He made quite the journey to get here, and all he wants to do now is just hang out with his crew members, relax, and take in the sights. But anyways, that is where I'm going to leave today's episode. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're looking forward for more... Thank you. I hope you're looking forward for more KSP POV. If you did, think about subscribing. Drop me a like, let me know your thoughts, and I will see y'all in the next one. Take care.